It reached the airwaves as Megadeth's first strategic single, at a time when they were mostly known within heavy metal circles, and became one of the most recognizable songs of the decade. It bridged the gap between the relatively obscure and the mainstream, and positioned them to be accepted by the masses. This is the story of a game-changing song in Megadeth's history. This is the story of Symphony of Destruction, the bridge between underground and mainstream. Imagine a person who is groomed to take a position of political authority. He is sold to the public as the solution they have been seeking. He is shined a bright and positive light. He is kept away from controversy, and he keeps certain topics and viewpoints to himself. All his positive attributes are placed at the front of the line. He is pushed as a candidate and finally put in control. With his victory come hope, positive attitudes, and a lot of compliance and docility. He is the hero needed, and the people love him. The entire spectacle, however, is a facade. He is doing no more than what he is told to do by those who truly make decisions, and he plays the role well. Slowly but surely, things start to change. New policies and protocols arise, new laws are enacted, new bills are passed, and amendments are approved. And none of them really exist to benefit the general public. The people, however, believe everything they are being told. They have placed so much trust in their leader that they do as they are told without ever thinking critically, logically, or rationally. Ultimately, society collapses. All markets crash, the banks run out of cash, supermarket shelves are empty, people start hurting, poverty strikes, riots ensue, and a civil war breaks out. That which was once bright and beautiful is now covered in a haze of despair. Despite all that has happened, a glimmer of hope still remains, because nothing lasts forever. Given enough time, the creators of the turmoil will no longer be there, and prosperity for all will once again take hold, and a bright future becomes the direction towards which the people will naturally decide to move. That is what Symphony of Destruction is about. In a nutshell, it's about the masses being led to their demise by a leader under the control of a phantom government. That's the stuff hits are made of, and as is the case with many hits, its development came as a stroke of luck. One day, while driving home, Dave Mustaine was stricken by a headache which brought inspiration along with inconvenience. He felt that his metal brain's corroding, my head is going to explode. He wrote it on the back of a sushi receipt which he found nearby. He would frequent a sushi restaurant after his kickboxing training, so receipts probably abounded, and the song was on its way. The Pied Piper is a reference to the main character in the Robert Browning poem The Pied Piper of Hamelin. Hello friends, I want to take a few seconds before continuing with the story of Symphony of Destruction to thank you for being here, for joining us as we submerge ourselves in the history of a band that is very dear to our hearts. If you like what you've heard so far, please subscribe and share with those whom you think would like it too. There is a lot more to come, both in what remains of this presentation as well as future productions. So stay tuned and thanks again. The unmistakable and unforgettable music has its own story. When the time to make Countdown to Extinction was upon them, Mustaine sent demos to his producer Max Norman. After listening and analyzing the music for days, Norman sent back pages of notes. As Mustaine put it, they said we needed a couple more songs. More songs, better songs, longer songs, I don't know. It was in the search for these songs that the main riff came to be, which of course is only part of the battle. The chorus and the verse were still two completely separate moments, Mustaine has said. That's usually how my songwriting goes. I write riffs and then try to assemble them. Both the chorus and the bass line came by inspiration as well. The chorus is just a moving chord progression. I got that inspiration from when the Beatles had moving bass chords under their chords. The bass line was inspired by a Queensryche song he heard on the radio. They were playing Jet City Woman and I went, that's the bass part. That's what I want. It's cool because you never know where you're going to get your musical inspiration from. Once I had a complete composition, Megadeth recorded a demo. And thanks to producer Norman, who proposed moving the final verse from before Marty Friedman's guitar solo to the end of the song, the result became the version metal fans around the world know and love. Marty Friedman once said that the original version of this song was much longer, but we edited a lot of it in pre-production for Countdown. And because of its hooks, it's a type of pop song. He once stated, "It was maybe our first pop song. It was like a pop song, if you could say that." And that was a reality which made him glad because of the wider appeal it gave the band. And I was glad because you gotta have pop songs if you want to reach massive amounts of people. And I think we did it without losing our heavy metal fans. You can make a pop song, but if you lose your core audience, it's not something that we wanted to do. Not only did Dave Mustaine decide to take the suggestions of his producer in arranging the song, he also decided to follow the lead of his record label when it decided to have the song be the album's first single. He has said, "Remember, you're talking about a band that didn't have singles. We'd just pick cool songs and make videos and pray that we'd get on MTV. Symphony was our first bona fide single. Everything else was just songs that we got lucky to get airplay for. And they got very lucky when it had made it to MTV." The music video received heavy rotation. It featured each band member individually playing, with a mostly black and white, non-linear narrative revolving around a political candidate who is campaigning during a time when the country is in shambles and people are outraged. That version of the video eventually became controversial due to the assassination of the politician. MTV apparently thought it was too harsh and had it edited. The new version continued playing, but with a reduced frequency. Dave Mustaine, of course, defended the original version. "We said, you know what, the video registers good in our hearts, and we feel we've done the best job we can do. Whatever you need to do to it in order to get the point across to kids out there that we're being led down a one-way street off a cliff by the people that are ruling this country right now, go ahead. I think it's more important that our point got across than the fact of whether or not we had to soften up a certain scene or lose it altogether." In the end, Symphony of Destruction catapulted Megadeth out of the metal underground and into the rock mainstream. They graduated from Saturday night headbangers ball obscurity to weekday afternoon playlists of viewer-requested video countdown shows. Marty Friedman stated that it was as close to a hit as we got. "I really like this as a Megadeth song because it is simple and the beat doesn't really change much. A solid track." While Dave Mustaine stated, "It was one of those songs where you play the riff and all of a sudden something inside you perks up." Its main riff became arguably one of the three most iconic heavy riffs of the entire decade. The other two being Metallica's Enter Sandman and Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit. Hello again, friends. I wanted to stop by one more time before we finish the story of Symphony of Destruction to express my gratitude for your being here and sharing this time with us. Delving into the history of a band we love so much is a joyous event, and having you here to experience it too makes it even more so. As I said before, if you like what you've heard, please subscribe and share, as there are many more stories to tell and many more stories to come. The critics were along for the ride, agreeing that the song offers the best of both worlds. Their comments include, Megadeth are undoubtedly top tier. Symphony of Destruction proves this with a super groove in which Dave Mustaine and Marty Friedman effortlessly shake out bone-dry riffs. Dave and company played simpler, more melodic tunes that will appeal more to the average listener, but Symphony of Destruction proves to listeners that the band still retains its heaviness. The songs are more polished and less thrashy, but there are some really good ones like Symphony of Destruction. Symphony of Destruction boasts a slightly streamlined sound, but the anger, sarcasm, and signature snarl of frontman Dave Mustaine remain wholly intact. Cries of sellout seem pointless when the results are artistically as well as commercially successful. Songs like the mega hit Symphony of Destruction are among the band's best. Mustaine and lead guitarist Marty Friedman opted for groove metal, best illustrated by the chunky chords and verse-chorus-verse simplicity of the lead single Symphony of Destruction. No wonder it remains Megadeth's most popular song. In the general public, some think that the reason it is Megadeth's most popular song is because it made a connection to the casuals, wasn't over the top, but still kicked butt. Others think that it's short, comparatively slow, easily approachable, easily digestible, catchy, and the vocals are fairly clean and clear. While others state that it has a catchy and simple enough riff and melodic chorus apt for mainstream consumption, and the vocals and solo are crafted to be accessible and it's immediately recognizable. The song has been performed live well over 1,000 times all over the world, with Dave Mustaine as the only constant in every performance. He has said that the opening riff is a world-famous riff now, and the cool thing is that it's taken a kind of folklore. He speaks of a 1994 performance in Argentina, where the fans embraced us and we ended up doing 5 sold-out shows in a row. It began the love story between Dave Mustaine and Argentina. As the band played the opening notes of the song, the Argentinian crowd began to chant along in unison. I stopped in the middle of the song and said, "What are you saying?" They said, "Aguanta Megadeth." Aguanta means keep going, and the kids were going, "Aguanta Megadeth," along to the riff. And with that, a point of inflection had reached Megadeth's career. It was a huge opportunity of which they took advantage for nearly a decade. Thank you for listening to Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction, the bridge between underground and mainstream. This was the story of a pivotal song in the history of Megadeth. If you liked it, please subscribe, comment, and share. There are many more stories on the way. Stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.